Hello, I'm James, and the game for tonight is Sunless Sea. Let's begin. Okay, when last we left off, we had just arrived in London, and I believe we had spoken to the Blind Bruiser. Now, let's check on the Admiralty Survey Office. Always a good place to start. The Admiralty's picket fleets and intelligence networks are long gone. The Survey Office pays Zee-captains a small sum for recent information. Gator's Morn. You have something to tell us about the pirate fleets in the forest? That's 30 echoes for fuel. Hunter's Keep. I trust the sisters are keeping well. They are citizens of her enduring majesty, notionally. Pignote Isle. I'm not certain I heard you correctly. Report submitted. Are you quite certain this is the report you wish to make? So be it. Quaker's Haven. Been trying the original rubbery lumps, have we? And still can't get into the top office. Okay. Are we up to do some repairs? We have options here. Okay. Traded 5 supplies for 21 hull. Employ Rattus Faber engineers. The Rats of London are remarkably skilled engineers, and they know ships well. They are not, however, reliable. Payment is in kind, not currency. This will repair some of your hull. How much? Difficult to say. A benevolent infestation. Rats sweep over your ship like tide. Day and night, their tiny tools click. Their crews step over them cautiously. Eventually, the rat tide withdraws. How good a job have they done? Okay. Now, the Alarming Scholar. The Alarming Scholar is mercurial, to say the least, a creature of sudden moods and provoking teeth. Perhaps her, is it her, appointment as University Maritime Liaison is precautionary, to keep his, is it his, razor-sharp enthusiasm from causing too many injuries in the faculty. Ah, yes, the scholar whispers breathily. I have a budget for acquisitions. What have you brought me? If you have any knowledge items that the scholar will buy, they'll appear below. a memory of distant shores, a piquant piece of picaresque pilgrimage. Wells of emotion. As the alarming scholar listens, tears well in the depths of those shining, or is it blazing, eyes. They overflow, splashing onto the desk water. Stop, she sobs at last. This is too beautiful. Allow me to bring the macaw of memories. I wish each individual tone recalled. A Zee story, a tale of the deep. Difficult dictation. Thrilling. Let me hear every detail. First, must find my fountain pen. Oh, how regrettable. It has a spider impaled on the nib. Excuse me. Let me. Good heavens, it's still alive. Pass me that volume of Gibbon. There we go. You have another pen. Nothing at Roser's War. Okay. We want Iron and Misery. Uran. Demo Island. Gator's Mourn. Khan's Heart. And Venderbight. Out of all of these, Venderbight is the easiest one to get to. It's the only one that we know where it is. Oh, I think we know where Gator's Mourn is too. Pick up some supplies. Not enough left for mushroom wine. Well, that's it for in London. Let's go. First, stop by Hunter's Keep and see if we can get signs of any of the other places. talk with Lucy this time. The daft tale. Lucy leans over and whispers something to you confidentially. A complex story about a butler, a pig, and an inheritance. You don't follow all of the details of the plot, but somehow the pig ends up in an attic, and the butler in a vicar's bed. Candles flicker, dishes enter and leave, the wind butts gently at the window panes. By the time the plum pudding arrives, you're as cheerful as you've been in months. Okay. No, I don't think we ever found out what, or I don't remember what that port is up there. Well, we can swing by it once we've hit Venderbight. Dust echoes even a sepia tint to the air. These are the waters around the tomb colonies. And we've been made. Inside, some sort of barrel. Tap the bung carefully. A firkin of honey. This is what they call prisoner's honey, wrung by the lamplighter bee from the exile's rose. I wonder who made up all these names, remarks able seaman Carget. Someone who read a sight too many books, I'm thinking. The sailor raises her head, sniffs sharply. Blood in the wind. From back, you can hear the sound that 1,000 bandaged dead make as they shuffle and cough. It's something like the world's most restless concert audience, or the world's most plague-ridden cathedral. Search for the last constable, 10%. There is whispering among the bandaged denizens of Venderbight. White carriages are visiting an abandoned storehouse. Maybe the constable is looking into that. Nothing but the newly dead. Inside the storehouse, you find coffins propped against the walls and laid across the floor. You pry one open, cracking the half-rotting wood. An immaculately dressed corpse frowns within. It tries not to stir. You open another, and another, until one gently takes you by the wrist. We cannot truly die here, but some of us would like to pretend. Won't you leave us in peace? Okay, she's not in Venderbight. We're still looking for her. Port report, as usual. And then explore. Explore Venderbight. Here, they favor candlelight over gaslight. The shadows are swagged like cobwebs. The tomb columnists stand still enough to be mistaken for sculpture until they laugh or cough. One building in 3 seems abandoned. A raggedy fellow. Captain, I'm a good Zee-man. I'm yours if you'll have me. Will you have me? I'm hungry. I'll work hard. He seems likely enough, if a little ragged and sorrowful. Way through the waves. All the way back to the ship, he talks excitedly about the Zeeman's craft. You start paying attention when he mentions navigational tricks you hadn't come across. With luck, he'll work as hard as he talks. Welcome aboard, stranger. Okay. And we have nothing worth selling. Oh, we could sell memory and some news. And then embark. Okay, a bit past Hanachuk. That would be 100 degrees, I think. Straight on. Assuming that this doesn't drive us too far off course. On to 3,600 there. Oh, hello, what are you? Nothing important. Restless nights. In the watches of the night, you pad softly past the hatch to the crew quarters. A man cries out softly in his sleep, desperately. Another. Ignore them. The captain can't be seen to take these things seriously. Silence at the breakfast table. The crew is subdued as they take their meals, but all is quiet in the next watch. Lost one terror. No landlubber would notice the change. But you feel the air prickle on your skin. Somewhere new. The air trembles. A breath of change passes. Ah, and that's what it was. A light ship. Clear, bright beam warms the way. You have little fuel to spare, but it's twice the usual price. Gonna. I have no news for them. Let's see what's around here. That's one. Gather up the corpses. They are succulent with stolen blood. Into the pot. An unorthodox diet. Those little bones are troublesome, and the flesh a little gamey, but salt them well enough and they're quite edible. And some supplies gained a terror. Enter a fog bank. And we're off of where my charts were. So there's a chance we might be able to find Demo Island. Over there, past the edge of the fog bank, it's almost as if the world has ceased to exist. More restless nights. Waves slap the side of the ship, far below something new. And now we are in the snares. Okay, there's lights. That usually means that there's something there. Discovered Pure Wall Point. Right there. Ah, here the wilder airs mingle with the airs of the near reaches. Damal's Gate, named for a navigator lost above. How did his bones come below? Lights out. Let's hope that thing doesn't see us. So far, so good. There's the light source down there. Discovered Moody's light. And over there, another light source. Another lantern buoy. Ah, and here is Demel Island. Over there. And Misery Company punching station. I&M has a plunger operation here, selling giant bulbous mushrooms for building materials, harvesting Curaleaf for its medicinal properties. It's a desperate little outpost of something like civilization. Up pops the affable factor. Oh, hello, Captain. Thank God for visitors. Would go quite mad out here otherwise. Ah, ha, ha, ha. Quite mad. How can we be of assistance? Search for the last constable. Join the plungers at their dinner table. Listen to their talk. Could the constable be among them? Breaking up the ring. You share your Z stories with the plungers over their meals. Eventually, a small group invites you to an entertainment. That evening, you meet them in a thicket. Two kneel around a pit, prodding Blemigans with sticks. Third stands, smoothing his mustache. I think we're ready to open our fights to the rest, says one of the kneeling men. Have you brought the... Ah! The mustached man brings a truncheon down on their heads. The Blemigans cheer and begin composing celebratory verses. The attacker turns, their mustaches falling. Ah, this must be the last constable. Odd, you don't look like the kind my father usually employs. Her father? Her knuckles whiten around her truncheon. The cheery man, are you here to kill me? I don't like her bobs on iron or hearts. Agree to take a message. You can't take her. Perhaps you can take a message instead. The last constable considers for a moment and tucks her truncheon under her arm. Sensible. Thank you, Captain. Tell my father I'll be back when I'm good and ready. London's my city, too. You've completed your assignment. Give the pass sign to the affable factor. The Admiralty asked you to bring back strategic information. This is your contact. A strained smile. Yes, I have it here. The courier ship to Mount Palmerston stopped off to resupply. Tell the Admiralty. Tell them I miss my children. Tell them I can't take it here much longer. The spores, the dark. Port report. Compile a port report. The Admiralty likes to keep an eye on Iron Ministry's activities. The business of spores. Of course, I&M activities here don't seem that interesting. Nevertheless, record what you can. Stand in the right place at the right time for the Nomic Gallivant. I don't like comedians. I am a very serious man, but we agree on one thing. Timing. That's why I am breaking into the Factor's home, and why I need you to distract him until I've found a special itinerary. A pleasant distraction. Just so happens that you bump into the Factor on his way home. What a happy coincidence. You couldn't possibly manage this entire picnic basket by yourself. Overjoyed to have company, he joins you on a bench for the next hour, merrily eating sandwiches. You take your leave once you have seen the Gallivant pass by. Back on your deck, the Gallivant laughs jovially. His rubies wink in the night. Iron and Misery will be sending a representative to the contest in Port Cecil. There's a full itinerary for all of the events tailored for every attendee. I have the dictator's moves mapped. Ready to visit the chess tournament in Port Cecil. Nomic Gallivant has discovered the whereabouts of his target. Tea with the Factor. The poor fellow needs the company, and he can spare an hour away from his schedule. An interlude. You sit on the veranda of the Factor's house, looking out over the fungal jungle, an expanse of green and sour gold. The air is thick with hovering spores. The scones are stale. Even the tea has a hint of mildew. But the Factor is good company. He shares odd stories about the ice and roses of Iran, the monstrosities of the Sea of Lilies, and a little restaurant in Venderbight, where he enjoyed the most extraordinary seafood. Venderbight, I know. I've never met a tomb colonist who could cook, but you must visit the place. Do you know it? He also has a load of Bulgius frond carted aboard your ship. He waves away your thanks. I have eaten so much of the stuff, I fear I might be transformed entirely into fungus. He leans confidentially towards you. It happens, you know. But one does have to eat rather a lot of it first. You've been told of an exceptionally fine restaurant in Venderbight. Okay, got some supplies. And now, where to next? Okay, maybe Port Cecil. We have got enough of our various things to continue exploring for a bit. Discovered the phosgene leaks. Sluggish wave. The ship pitches. Okay, light. Over there. And there, too. Okay, we have a line to follow. A baked breeze rises, the improbable scent of stone out of some distant desert. You are close to the salt lines. Due south. Right there, in fact. There's a gilliflower. Let's highlight it. Gilliflowers and the gilliflower. Is it a young jellyfish, a lesser subspecies? Do the dreams of jellyfish become real? In any case, now it's a sad slick of goo dissolving into the Zee. Scoop it up. Perhaps you can eat it. Perhaps, better yet, perhaps your sailors can. A spreading sting. It's gone. You are left with gooey gloves and a buttery smell. And this purple thing. Is it an egg, a heart, a less fortunate traveler? Dissolved and shriveled to mauve ruin? Put it somewhere safe. Now I have a strange patch. Discovered Zeal Port. And then, after this, let's see if we can get back to London with no further trouble. Saltines. There is a vast sorrow in their empty eyes. Two basalt beasts, cathedral-sized. They frown eternally at each other across the black waves. The north one carries an encampment. Creeping human figures eat away at its features like rot. Picking. There's a supply dock below. First, port report. Compile a port report. Time. Basalt. Dissolution. Notes for the Admiralty. Record the activities of the unmakers, such as the dawn. Write of stone and silence. Salt's rights. Face of the northern sphinx is all but gone. Lost faces are sacred to Salt, they say. You are drawn there. To what end? Salt's voice is distant but clear. Into the Zee. Dive from the Sphinx's face down a clean arc into the Zee's chilly darkness. Float there in the quiet until your lungs are bursting, until light gleams behind your eyes. Rise gasping to the prickle of false stars, the shocked faces of your crew. Brought something with you. 7 terror. Got rid of Salt's attention. You now have an extraordinary implication. How can such a thing be? Who but you could understand what it means? Okay, nothing left for us to do but head back to London. Okay. More or less a straight shot, but let's try to avoid a bunch of pirates. And we're less than halfway through the east-west side of the map. Of the crew. The Lagmites loom in the distance like the cranes of wolf-sack dogs, but faster, vaster. The Corsair's forest. Our lookouts are watchful. We can't afford any loss of hull. Any breeze stirs your hair and dies. Lights out. Shipwrecked. Your ship founders. There are screams. A flood of dark water, the unforgettable sound of a ship's spine breaking. Slip beneath the waves. Perhaps you'll be remembered in song. No more. Sleep. Your memoirs. Quality of lodgings. Quality has gone. A second captain has been lost to the Untersea. In memoriam. Died March 19th, 1888. Sleep. accept that legacy. Be a veteran of the campaign of 68 this time. You fought in the invasion of Hell. London's armies lost, you survived. Your loot and your pension have bought you a command. This will give you a bonus to Iron, skill of causing direct damage. Stern and exacting, they will not trifle with you. You promised a job to your acquaintance, the shady cook. He'll do until you can find someone less disgusting. Your father's bones. Your father was lost at Zee. You never knew him. We've often dreamed of him. Find and returns his remains to London for a decent burial. Full fathom 5, find where he fell and bring him home. Your last scrap of paperwork. Let's be a sir this time. Yes, that is certainly what comes to mind when I think of sir. Your father's bones, a cold trail. Your father, lost at sea so very long ago. The trail was cold, but now you have a lead. The dark spectacled admiral. 1 week ago, the admiral grew incautious after one brandy too many in the Parthenaeum Club. He made references to your father's deplorable end and expressed his regret that he had not prevented it. You are not a member of the Parthenaeum, but their head waiter once served in your regiment. The Admiralty. You meet your friend, the head waiter, and learn that the Admiral has not returned since. Perhaps he regrets his outspokenness. You'll have to find him in his lair at the Admiralty. Win 3 levels of Admiralty's favor, and visit the Admiralty Survey Office to speak with the Admiral. Well, you know what? The end of a character is a good place to call it. So, let's do so. I have been James, and the name of the game is Sunless Sea. Thank you for watching.